are afraid to share their thoughts. Maybe they think this space is crowded. They're like, oh,
Mm,
the world doesn't need another podcast, or nobody needs to know my opinion on this. Actually, they do. And no one's going to discover your greatness or give you an opportunity to speak your mind unless you start doing it before the request is there. So I think that's what makes people special, is their own unique perspective and their ability to be transparent and authentic. That's, you don't have
yeah,
to be perfect. The perfection game of social media, it's over. Like, it's
right.
not about being perfect anymore. That was way early. That was years ago. Now I feel, it seems to me, it's about being authentic.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Own Your Brand Show. My name is Victoria Odekomaya and I'm very excited about today's episode because a lot of the people that I come across, that I photograph, were so talented, whether that be business owners or small or professionals. And I know that there is no use in us having all this talent and no one knowing about it because then we cannot impact the world, right? So today I'm very excited because beyond taking the photography, and you need to know how to use it, how to step out so that people can know who you are. So my guest today is Jennifer Magley of Magley Mass Media, and we're going to be talking about strategies on how to maximize your network and get more media and on stage opportunities. So without much ado, let's get into it. Hello and welcome. I'm so excited about today. How are you doing, Jennifer?
I am doing wonderful now that I'm here with you. I'm just really honored to be on your show. The work you're doing, helping women look and feel beautiful and the VIPs that they are, inspiring. So thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thank you. You look so beautiful. I have to say that.
Likewise.
I love your smile. And yeah, and the work you're doing too is really incredible. Today, I'm so excited about this conversation because I know you're a media personality. You write for Forbes and all of these amazing things. And one of the biggest thing about you is just helping people be known, putting their name out there. So, but before we get into that, tell us a little bit about yourself. For those that don't know who you are, let's just refresh their memory. Tell us who Jennifer Magley is.
Yes, I'm a former professional athlete. I played tennis for a very long time, and University of Florida graduate, went on to be a Division I head coach, business owner, a mom, and I recently was a full-time employee in tech and was part of those layoffs. And so since I was laid off, I'm leaning into something I've been doing on the side for over a decade, which is helping people land more media and onstage opportunities.
That is amazing, amazing. And I know that your mom is the first woman owner of a professional football league, right?
Yeah, she's the first owner of a professional sports league, and it's
Sports league.
a men's league too, which is pretty special. It's called the Basketball League, and I'm so proud of her. I mean, when you think of the history of the globe, to have a mom and a woman, a black woman at that, to be the first, I'm obviously very proud. We'll stunt on my mama any day.
Yes,
Wow,
yes. And
I'm here for
yeah,
all the things.
that's amazing. That's amazing. And I know you're a momager too, right?
Yes, I am. I am. I like to explain it. If Kim Kardashian was 65, I'd be Kris Jenner, but I'm her daughter. So I'm my mom's momager, looking to get her as much attention for the things that she's done as possible. So I love it. I get to boss her around, Victoria. It's kind of
Hey,
nice.
that's she had a turn bossing you around when you were growing up.
Yeah.
It's your time now.
Now it's her turn. Oh, I love it. I lean into it too. I'm like, did you take your walk today? I'm like, yeah, I'm Matthew Knowles to Beyonce. So it's
That's
fun.
right. Oh, that's so fun. And I really enjoy that because this is what you're trying to do for everybody else, right? And
Oh
you get to
gosh,
do that for your mom. So tell us a little bit about how you're working with your mom and just, maybe transition a little bit about why it's even important to get our names out there.
definitely. So with my mom, she's the only talent that I manage right now. I actually have a lot of opportunities. People coming to me every day, will you manage me? Actors, models, but it's not something I'm able to lean into at the moment living in Indiana. So what I decided is, there's a lot of people out there that want more attention. A publicity firm, it's going to cost them $15,000 to $25,000 a month, minimum 9 months. I know you're aware of that. You've had those conversations. So then I thought
Yes.
there's got to be a better way, maybe an independent publicist. Well, the going rate for an independent publicist, this person's going to get your name mentioned in 1 to 3 media outlets a week, $5,000 to $10,000 a month, 3-month minimum.
Right.
Bag money, right? Like if you want a Gucci or a Louis every month, maybe an independent publicist is a better option for you than a bag.
Right.
So it landed on mastermind groups. So I curate mastermind groups that are 90 days. We meet twice a month, and it's like-minded professionals, creatives, business owners that want to land more media and want to get their names out there. How do we attract media to come to you?
That's amazing. That's amazing because yes, we could spend all that money, but as a small business owner, attention and money is, it's gonna be divided over multiple things, right? We're fighting for where to spend this money. So I really like your approach to it. Not only that, you're empowering business owners, professionals to do it themselves. This episode is brought to you by me. Yes, by me, Victoria Odekomaya. I'm a brand photographer and strategist based locally here in Indiana. And I love helping women, small business owners, and professionals with side hustles build and elevate their brand. So if you're in the market and looking for someone that would thoroughly help you create a beautiful imagery for your brand and help you connect to your target audience, I'm your girl. So why choose me? Because I offer a beautiful, luxurious celebrity photoshoot experience for all of my clients. The celebrity experience includes professional hair and makeup, wardrobe styling. I serve wine and chocolate covered strawberries, and I'm playing your favorite music because it's important to me that you look and feel great to create the images that we know will truly connect with your audience. So, what are you waiting for? If you're looking for photography to help you elevate your brand, call on your girl because I got you. So, tell us a little bit about this mastermind, a little bit more detailed if you can.
Yes, yes. So we meet twice a month for 60 minutes. There is a brief lesson from the 3M playbook. My business is called Magley Mass Media. So it's the 3M playbook. And Victoria, it's anything that you want to know. Scripts, models, when to pitch, how to follow up. It's all in one little actionable book that comes with the group. And then everyone shares a big brag. And this is the time for people to really lean into like, hey, this is what I did since the last time I was here. And
Mhm.
it's not always acceptable to brag, but in this group it is. And then we have the hot seats where you share one thing you want to accomplish or overcome, and then you're put on mute and everyone has an opportunity to be like a think tank and give you ideas, intros, referrals. But Victoria, back to what you were talking about when it comes down to people knowing your name and feeling comfortable in their skin. I found that in America, people will change your name or even avoid saying your name if they don't know how to say it. And so that's the problem when no one knows your name. No one knows the real you because they
Right.
can't even begin to say it out of their own mouths.
Wow. Yeah. And we
I mean, the
really need
last
to.
name, has that happened to you with your last name before?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Like people cannot pronounce my last name typically, or they butcher it, but it's fine because, I use that to my advantage, right? I
Tell
then
me,
tell people, I'm Victoria with the last name that's hard to pronounce. It's because I want them to remember who I am. So,
there you go.
yes. So it's important. Like I really appreciate what you're doing is again because we have to. I remember one of the videos of you that I was listening to where you were talking about knowing what makes you different. Because even before you start making yourself known, like you really need to know what makes you different, so that when you start publicizing that, when people start knowing your name, they can associate that with you. Tell us a little bit about that. What are your thoughts about that?
Yeah, I think a lot of people are afraid to share their thoughts. Maybe they think this space is crowded. They're like, oh,
Mm,
the world doesn't need another podcast, or nobody needs to know my opinion on this. Actually, they do. And no one's going to discover your greatness or give you an opportunity to speak your mind unless you start doing it before the request is there. So I think that's what makes people special is their own unique perspective and their ability to be transparent and authentic. That's you don't
yeah,
have to be perfect. The perfection game of social media, it's over. Like it's
right.
not about being perfect anymore. That was That was way early. That was years ago. Now I feel, it seems to me, it's about being authentic.
Authentic, yes, yes. And honestly speaking, I totally agree with what you're saying in sense that if you look around the world now, a lot of people are doing the same thing.
Yeah.
I know a ton of photographers. I know a lot of business coaches. So unless you bring your flavor to the table, you let
Right.
people know what it's different about you. You're just like the same, like there's nothing different. Like there's no name recognition. There's nothing to be memorable about. So even if you put your name out there, why should I remember you? Like there's nothing unique, right?
Yeah. So I think the thing that's made you so successful, for example, is that you are acknowledging that other people are the star. You are the guide and you are
Yeah.
making them the star. And that's what I'm striving to do also, which is no one knows your name. Let's change that. And it's
Yes.
not, me. Yeah, you're going to see a lot of me to get to know me and hear the message. But every message is let's put you on. Let's get you on the podcast. Let's get you on TV. Let's get you featured because that's what people really want is they're consuming the content to learn about themselves.
Right. I like that. I like that you mentioned that because, and I think that's also what sets you apart too, because a lot of people are always looking for that attention for themselves, right? But then when you finally see someone that is doing it for other people and genuinely
Mm.
loves it and want to do it, it's like a breath of fresh air, right? So in a way, you're like reverse engineering the whole making your name known too.
And you know what? I look back on footage of when I was little, and like my parents have these videos, the VHS. I don't know if some people may not know what that is, but these old videos. And every single time I was jumping up saying, "Look at me! Look at me! I'm still here!" And now I get paid to do that. So
Yeah.
look at me! I'm still here. Look at her! Look at him!
Right.
Hopefully, as we scale and get bigger, we're going into the fourth group next month,
Mhm.
which is wonderful. There's 9 professionals, 10 counting me in each group. So we'll be impacting over 100 professionals by the end of the year. So that's going to be very powerful.
That's amazing. So, tell us one or two tips that you can offer anyone listening right now that's struggling with like even knowing where to start out with putting their
Yes,
names out there. What do you recommend?
I would recommend start posting. It doesn't even have to be original content. It can be a repost and just know that it doesn't have to be perfect. The internet is a void. All right. It's a
Yes.
complete black hole. It's an oblivion. And if somebody even takes the time to hate something that you posted, you won because you stood out for one minute second. So I guess the first thing I would say is just do it. No one cares.
Mm.
I know it sounds awful. The second tip is I would encourage everyone listening to explore and become more active on LinkedIn.
Oh
LinkedIn
yes.
is a dinosaur. There is practically
Mm.
no innovation. The algorithm doesn't change much. It's kind of the MySpace of social media.
Are you dating yourself now?
Oh, yeah, people are like, LinkedIn is so boring. I'm like, that's why you can grow. So here's
Yes.
why it's important to be active on LinkedIn. One, they're real people. And since they're
Right.
real people, they're not fake followers. They're going to have to behave since it's connected to their job. So you're not going to have a
Mhm.
lot of trolling going on. Two,
Right.
since they're real people, they have executive level jobs. The
Mm.
average LinkedIn user has over $75,000 in income every year.
Mm.
That does not include their side hustles. So if you're looking for an opportunity to connect with where the real money is for what you
Mm.
do, consider putting, I would say, a cannonball, not even dipping your toe in, but do a cannonball into LinkedIn. See what
I love it.
happens. Cross post that stuff.
Right. I really like that. And I know that one of the things to expand on that also, and then you touched on that is also, when you're thinking about where your target audience are, right? Like,
Yes.
or when you're about posting, figure out where they are and meet them there. And a lot of us, professionals and business owners, our target audience are on LinkedIn, a lot of us, right? And like you said, the audience is just hungry. There's no, trolling. And it's just like, they actually are genuinely interested in what you have to say. So
Yes.
that's I love that. Thank you so much. Okay.
Oh,
So I want to go back to your mastermind real quickly.
uh-huh.
So you said at the end of the year, you have about 100 people so far.
Yes.
So I bet you do have like some kind of connection because right there, if I got to know 100 more people,
Oh, yeah.
that's gold right there. So tell us
Yeah.
about like the network within that mastermind.
Yes. So as a part of becoming joining a 90-day group, you get access to monthly in-person events. If you're here in Indiana, where folks from the other mastermind groups are coming for lunch or coffee, very informal. But I think the biggest thing about networking is you never know if there are going to be the quality people there that you want to meet. So that's why it really exhausts a lot of people because they leave and they're like, I don't have anything to show for this.
Right.
So as a member of the mastermind group, you'll already know that you'll be in like-minded company.
I love that. I love that because again, one of the things that I tell people is like it's not enough to just network. Like you have to manage your time and use it effectively. So you need to go to the places that you actually can connect with people. And it sounds like this mastermind is where you want to be to. Especially, so tell us a little bit about the types of people again, because maybe this is not for everyone, right? So
Right,
like
right.
who are the types of people that this mastermind is really good for?
Yeah, so far we've got three buckets of folks. We've got people that are in their third or fourth role in corporate America. So they're maybe SVP to C-suite.
Okay.
So they're very good kind of corporate creatures, right? And then we also have business owners and creatives. I kind of put them into the same bucket. These are solopreneurs to folks that have companies with 20 plus people as
Okay.
employees. And then the third bucket, I would say, is the 9 to 5 professional that's ready to chuck the deuces and get out of their full-time role or make some extra money. So these
Mm.
people are looking to increase their personal brand so that they can have more options if they get I've
I was
been recently, so I know what that is. So those
right. And
are
this
the three types.
yes. Oh wow. There's a lot of that going on right now. And I
Yeah,
think
oh,
that
it's the
yeah, a
worst.
lot of people are also already thinking about it. They're thinking about the talents that they have and how they can put that into use and make something out of it. So yeah, that's good. So it sounds like you have something for pretty much every, variety of people, like category of people.
Definitely. And media, Victoria, when they hear that, people think, oh, just like TV and newspaper for people that remember newspapers. But it
Yes.
really can be any kind of request that you can bring
Mhm.
to the hot seat. So we've got a former CFO who models, and she's like, hey, I want to be on a billboard in town. Or we've got somebody else who says, you know what I want to do is I want to get more paid MC gigs where I'm paid to
Mm.
host events. So when you think about media, it really is any and everything from social media to contributorship. It's just such a wide net compared to what it used to be before technology.
Wow, that's good to to mention because yeah, I think there's that idea that media is just TV.
Right.
Maybe new, like you said, but yeah, well, social media has a media name behind it, so
Oh,
that's good.
totally. I mean, and it could be partnerships with brands. It
Yes.
could be like an influencer type of deal. Like maybe you're an influencer and you think, oh, okay, I want to land some bigger deals. That's what the group is all about. So instead of having like one publicist that's working for you, you now have activated 9 people outside of your network, to get on the ground and to make those introductions. So that's why I love the masterminds, is because you get to find fellow folks. I say eagles fly alone. And
Mm,
sometimes you don't have that group where you can, say, hey, Victoria, you said you're going to do this 2 weeks ago. How's it going? Friends don't
yes.
often do that. So that's
Right.
what's special about this group is there's a little bit of accountability also.
I love that. I love that because yeah, you know how there's just so many to-do lists on our plates,
Yes,
and we
certainly.
always like I'll get to it, but when you have someone to just like keep you accountable, that really helps and goes a long way. Wow, this is really fun. I enjoyed every conversation that we've had today. Tell us, how can we find you and information
Yes.
about this mastermind?
Definitely, definitely. I live on LinkedIn. Again, I used to hate it, but I'm there all the time now. So you can connect with me on LinkedIn, at Jennifer Magley. I am on Instagram throughout the day, in and out at Jennifer Magley. And then, like one huge tip and takeaway from today, if you only remember one thing, is I wrote this article for Forbes about how Gen Z is taking advantage and using social media in different ways. And the thing that you remember and to know, the one thing to remember is use the social media platforms for messaging. So if you want to get in touch with me, connect with me on LinkedIn, send me a message. But instead of thinking about likes and popularity and views, do enough on social media so that you're legitimate, but use it as a door to open and get past gatekeepers to get in touch with people and brands that you want to work with. I would say the days of organic viral growth are probably over for the average person. It's not realistic. It's not necessarily attainable and doesn't even transfer. I don't know if it transfers into sales or not to be viral. I think the best use of your time on social media is to reach out and to message people that you don't know. So this in the industry is known as a cold outreach, a cold call, or a cold message. But to me, it's just a connection, right? So what you want to do is reach out, for example, on LinkedIn, instead of just pressing connect, click the button that says personalize invite. And you can literally say, I'm happy to be connected here on LinkedIn, Victoria. Doesn't have to say anything else, but I think the stat is about over 80% of people, it increase your chances by 80% when you have a personal message. Then on the next message, they're not going to message you back. They're going to accept you. Send another one that moves you to a video call quickly. People are very open to having video calls from the pandemic. So this is how you can get in front of some of the biggest companies in the world, billion-dollar hedge funds, huge conferences, is by getting folks to come visit with you on a video call. So use that messaging feature. If you're looking for a scriptive mod or a model, how to do it, DM me and I can help you with that, because I use all the latest science and tools to hack the brain.
That is amazing. That's an incredible tip right there. And thank you so much for sharing that, and also being open to having people DM you to get all that information. I'm going to leave all your contacts in the in the comments and the description of this. But thank you. That is very it's just really eye opening. How you can, because you're right. It's not about it's about bringing people into your own work, inviting them, because, and you're right when you said a lot of people are more interested or they are more open to having video calls now.
Yeah,
That
and
is really good.
when you get on that video call, the
Hmm.
whole purpose is to add value to that other person's life.
Yes.
So you begin the call by saying, "Tell me what you're excited about right now." Oh my gosh, and what else?
Yeah.
What are you looking to do this summer? Really? What can I do to support you? Who's a good introduction for you? So by
Yes.
providing value, they're going to tell you, or they're going to say, "No, I don't know anyone." It could be simple as, "How can you buy 5 Girl Scout cookies for my daughter?" And before you know it, you have a symbiotic relationship of giving. So when it comes to reciprocity, you've given this, you're not expecting anything. What is a person who is aware or intentional of going to do, Victoria? They're going to say, "What can I do for you?" And at
Yes.
that point, that's when you share with them, "Oh, you know what? This is what could be helpful." So things to keep in mind and strategies to use intentionally, because that intentionality will be helpful. And you are being clear. You are being kind by offering value to them.
That is amazing. Thank you. When you were saying that, that reminds me of the book How to Win Friends and Influence People. That
Yes.
is, yeah, really good. Well, thank you again for your time today. I really enjoyed having this conversation with you. And until next time, see you soon. I don't know. I'm gonna figure this out.